Hello students, welcome you all to the course Computer Architecture. The computer organization and architecture is one of the most important and comprehensive subject that includes many foundational concepts and knowledges used in the design of a computer system. This course is specially designed for beginners to study all the relevant topics related to computer organization and architecture. The computer architecture important topics includes all the fundamental concepts such as computer system functional units, processor microarchitecture, program instructions, instruction formats, addressing modes, instruction pipelining, memory organization, instruction cycle, interrupts and other important related topics. Let us first start with a simple introduction to computer architecture. What is computer architecture? In order to understand the term computer architecture, let us first discuss what is an architecture. The term architecture can be defined as an art and science of designing an object. We generally relate the term architecture with the building because the building is one of the most common objects in the human world. The architecture helps us to define the functional, physical and the performance standard for any object. Every object in the real world is based on some architecture. For example, an architect will define the building in terms of building drawings and specification for various building components. Similarly, the system architecture defines various functional units of the computer system and how these units are interconnected. It defines the system performance specifications and what system should achieve in terms of performance. In simple words, the computer architecture is all about computer system design details expressed in terms of functional units and interconnection between these units. The computer architecture helps us define the functional capabilities and the requirements for the computer system. The system architecture is a high-level design specification that does not specify any specific details of the hardware components. The computer architecture gives an abstracted view of the structure of various functional units and its behavior. In order to build a computer system, the first step is to design and develop the system architecture. The next step in the system design process is to finalize the computer organization details. Now let us see what is computer organization. Let us first understand the meaning of the term organization in the context of computers. The term organization is defined as arranging, classifying things together logically to maximize the functional convenience. The computer organization is based on the computer architecture. The computer organization implements the system architecture. In simple words, the computer organization is all about organizing various system hardware components and how these components are interconnected. The computer organization describes the details of various hardware components related to the various functional units present in the system. The computer organization deals with the arrangement of various system hardware components and the functional performed by the components. The computer organization defines the existence of various functional units and its components. It is also defines the interconnection between various functional components. The computer organization defines the structure and behavior of the digital computers. The main objective of computer organization is to understand the various computer hardware components and the interconnection between these components. Now, let us discuss about the computer system functional units. In computer organization and architecture, the computer system can be classified into number of functional units. This classification is based on the specific functions performed in the computer system. The basic functional units of a computer system includes input unit, central processing unit, control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and output unit. Let us discuss these functional units one by one. The first thing what we are going to see is computer systems input unit and output unit. Let us first discuss with the computer systems input unit. The main function of the input unit is to provide the data that will be operated by the central processing unit as per the program instructions. The most commonly used input devices for any general purpose computer system includes keyboard and mouse. However, computer can also accept input from other input devices such as camera, scanner, and mic. The computer system can accept the input from number of input devices such as keyboard, scanner, camera, mouse, or any other input devices connected to the computer system. Now let us discuss about the computer system output unit. The main function of the output unit is to present the data to the users that is processed by the central processing unit as per the program instructions. The most commonly used output devices for any general purpose computer system includes display monitor, speaker, and printer. We all know it. Okay. However, computer can also send the output to other output devices such as projectors, speakers, and disk memory. The computer system can send the output to number of output devices such as display monitor, printer, projector, speaker, or any other output device connected to the computer system. Now let us discuss about the central processing unit. Central processing unit is nothing but of the microprocessor which you have studied it in the previous semester. Okay. The central processing unit is said to be the brain of the computer system. It is the CPU that provides the processing power to the computer. The CPU internally consists of three important units. These three units are control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and memory unit. These three units together are referred as central processing unit. The main function of the CPU is to execute the computer program. The CPU executes the program by fetching program instruction one by one from the main memory. Main memory is nothing but of random access memory, that is RAM. The control unit of the CPU decodes these instructions and performs the desired arithmetic and logic operations. The CPU executes the program instruction by repetitively performing the instruction cycle. The instruction cycle consists of 4 steps that includes fetch, decode, execute, and store. Now let us discuss about the control unit. The control unit is an important component of the central processing unit. The control unit of the CPU is responsible to control the working of all the hardware components connected to the system. In other words, The main function of the control unit is to direct the various operations performed by the computer system. The control unit transmits the control signals that directs the hardware components to perform specific operations. The control unit of the CPU is also responsible to decode the program instruction fetched from the memory. The control unit decodes the program instruction as per the instruction format. The control unit, after the decode operation, directs the arithmetic and logic unit of the CPU to perform the desired operation as per the instruction set architecture of the central processing unit. Now let us discuss about the arithmetic and logic unit. The arithmetic and logic unit is the mathematical brain of computer placed inside the processor chip. The arithmetic logic unit essentially performs all the arithmetic and logic operation performed by the CPU. It is the ALU that actually operates on the data. The CPU initiates the program execution by fetching the program instruction from the main memory. I have already told main memory is nothing but of the RAM, random access memory. The control unit of the CPU decodes the instruction and directs the ALU to perform the desired operation on the data. The ALU is an essential fundamental component of any digital computing circuit and also for all central processing unit. In order to operate on the data, the ALU performs three types of operation. The ALU operation includes arithmetic, logic and shift operation. Now let us discuss about the memory unit. The main function of the memory unit is to store the data. The computer system memory unit consists of different types of memory. The computer system memory can be grouped into two basic types, that is primary and secondary memory. The primary memory, that is the main memory RAM, is called temporary or volatile memory. The secondary memory is called permanent or non-volatile memory. We call it as disk memory. Different types of memory used in a computer system are organized in a hierarchical order to optimize the system performance. The CPU executes the program instructions at very high speed, whereas the data transfer from main memory RAM to CPU is relevantly slow. And therefore, high-speed cache memory is placed between the CPU and main memory RAM. The CPU stores the frequently used data into the cache memory that can be accessed at high speed as compared to the RAM. The CPU also makes use of another very high-speed memory called CPU register built right inside the processor chip. The processor microarchitecture consists of number of very high-speed virtual memory inside the CPU called registers. The processor internally uses different types of registers at different stages of the instruction cycle during the program execution. Finally, let us discuss about the central processing unit registers. In processor microarchitecture, the CPU registers are high-speed memory placed inside the processor chip. In memory hierarchy, the register is the smallest in size but has the highest data access speed. Depending upon the processor architecture, the CPU can have number of registers. The registers are used by CPU during the execution of program instructions. The register plays an important role during the execution of instruction cycle performed by the central processing unit. The registers are high-speed temporary memory area built into the processor chip. The registers are integral part of every processor's internal memory unit. The registers provide very high data access speed that is much faster than the cache memory, and therefore the registers are used by the processor as temporary memory during the program execution. Here I have shown the register architecture of 8085 microprocessor. Since you are being familiar with the 8085 microprocessor, I have shown this registers. That's all for today. We can discuss about the hardware units of the computer architecture in the next video lecture. Thank you all.